Why does Islam allow polygamy or multiple marriages? This question is often raised in Western Christian podcasts and modern discussions. Some people argue that it is unfair to women, patriarchal, or incompatible with contemporary society. However, when Islam's position is understood in its full context, the issue can be viewed differently. First, Islam does not make polygamy obligatory. Rather, it permits it under strict conditions. The Quran states that if a man wishes to marry more than one woman, he must establish justice between them. But if he fears that he will not be able to deal justly, then he is instructed to marry only one. This guidance appears in Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 3. Many scholars therefore explain that monogamy is the safer and more natural path in Islam, while polygamy is an exceptional allowance for certain situations. Historically, before the advent of Islam, men in Arabian society could marry an unlimited number of women without any fixed restriction. Islam regulated this practice by limiting the maximum number of wives to 4 and by attaching the strict condition of justice and responsibility. In this way, Islam did not promote unrestricted polygamy. Rather, it brought it under ethical control and accountability. The Quranic discussion of this permission is also connected to a social context in which wars and instability had left many women widowed and many children orphaned. Ensuring their protection, dignity, and financial security became a major social concern. In such circumstances, polygamy was seen as one possible social solution. In addition, Islamic jurisprudence sometimes considers certain personal realities, such as complex marital situations or issues related to having children, as factors that may lead to the permissibility of an additional marriage. However, these are not stated in the Quran as universal or primary reasons. They are part of later legal and social interpretations. The most important condition in polygamy is justice. A husband is required to provide fairly for his wives in terms of financial support, housing, time, and social rights. Complete equality in emotional love is not fully within human control, and the Quran itself acknowledges this in Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse 1-9. However, this does not justify neglect or leaving any wife in a state of uncertainty or unfair treatment. It is also important to recognize that polygamy existed in various religious traditions in the past. The Bible mentions several prophets who had more than one wife. While modern Christian societies generally uphold monogamy as the ideal, Islam chose not to prohibit polygamy entirely. Instead, it allowed it in a regulated form while clearly defining women's rights, including the bridal gift, financial maintenance, inheritance, and marital protection. In conclusion, polygamy in Islam is not a command but a conditional permission. It may be practiced based on personal choice or social necessity, but if justice cannot be ensured, then monogamy is considered the better and safer path. From this perspective, Islam approaches the issue with an emphasis on responsibility, social stability, and the protection of women's dignity and rights.